Some of you know me as B-Joy, which is a combination of beauty and joy, which are my two favorite things in life. This next song, that I want to do this morning, a song that has touched me deeply, and I want to dedicate it to our brother Dean this morning. So I know there's some family members here, and it's called "There's Only Love." In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. A love that heals, a love that sets me free. There's only love. When I lose myself, when I feel I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, and I hear Spirit gently say, there is only a love that heals, a love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. A love that heals, a love that sets me free. There's only love. A love that heals, a love that sets me free. There is only a love. Only love.
Thank you. Isn't it a gift to have Michael Paul Smith, also known as B-Joy, with us? And Bill Wolf. My name is Reverend Donna, and I'm very, very honored to be one of the practitioners here at Our Jewel by the Sea, as well as serving in the roles and the capacities that I do in other areas at our church. And how grateful I am to be here with you this morning with our very first candidate, Reverend Jay, and you'll be hearing from him a little later in the service. I've got a few things I want to share this morning. One of them is, people have asked me, what brought you and keeps you coming back to our center? And I've been contemplating that quite a bit, especially after yesterday. It was a very full day for a variety of reasons. One of the things that keeps me coming back day after day, month after month, decade after decade, I've been here over 30 years in our denomination, it's the love. It's the love that keeps me coming back, because I see it in each and every one of your eyes and in your hearts when we're here on Sundays, on Wednesdays, if you come on Wednesdays. We are a loving, inclusive, open church. And I'm grateful to be a part not only of our center, but of our denomination across the world, because we're global. I did want to share one thing about yesterday. Many of us were able to get together with Dean due to space and Dean's energy and probably Bill's. About 50 people, I'd say, got together at Chris and Margie's home to celebrate Dean at his request. And many of his family members are here this morning, and what a gift it is to have them here. Dean had intended to be here this morning, but he chose to stay home for his own well-being. But there's something I wanted to share to him this morning that I've gotten permission to share, even though he can't be here with us physically. And one of the requests Dean had made of us was to share with him something that we learned from him, something that he taught us that his gift was in our life. And I shared from my heart yesterday, and I shared some words from people who'd asked me to share on their behalf. And as I was driving home last night, and in the quiet, contemplating the almost 4 hours we had together to share love, and that's what we did, was we shared love, was I realized something. What Dean has taught, there's a saying, and I'm going to paraphrase it. It's not that we should fear death, but that we should fear not living before we die. And that is what Dean has taught above all else in my life, to live, to answer the call, to be silly, be funny, open your heart and be loving. He and Billy share an amazing, tremendous, deep love. That's what I wanted to share with Dean today. So thank you for allowing me to share that with you. We do have flowers today, and they are from Priscilla. And in the program, for you, Dad, my spiritual partner and father this time. I miss you every day, and I'm so grateful to have been your daughter, from Priscilla. These are beautiful flowers, and they represent deep love. And that's what I'm going to ask you to think about today, is deep love. We have a grief group. It meets the third Saturday of the month, and it's this coming Saturday. Reverend Juanita, Sylvia, and myself facilitate it. Please come if you feel called to express or to be present with loss that you may be walking through. Please know it's a safe place for us to share and be together. We will be meeting in the bride's room because of the other events happening next Saturday, but it's from 10 to 11:30. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call. Our phone numbers are in the back of the program. And if you do want to talk before or after or one-on-one, please reach out to us. That's what we're here for. The power of your word, our class that Marjorie and I keep wanting to call her Reverend Marjorie. We co-facilitate this class, and it's on the power of prayer. So if you'd like to deepen your experience in spiritual mind treatment and deepen your experience in how prayer shows up in our denomination, I invite you to join us. The second class meeting is this Thursday, so you can still join. We meet for 8 weeks, and it's through May 31st, 6:30 to 8:30, and we meet upstairs in the conference room. So if you have any questions, please give us a call before next Thursday and join us if you'd like to. Wednesday night service, we all know how important that is to me, and we're very, very blessed to have Susan Collins and her drum meditation this Wednesday. If you've never been, Susan's here. She's about halfway in the back. If you have any questions, please see Susan. Dwayne was here first service, and he's very excited. Susan has plenty of drums for you to participate if you don't have your own drum. So please do come. It's from 6:30 until 8. It goes a little bit longer, but believe me, you will be loved up, prayed up, deep meditation, and you'll have fun in the process. So please do come. And then for our last announcement, I have Goldie, who would like to come up and share.
invest a dime, and you say you belong to me. Ease my mind, imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together.
I know you've met my cousins in the past few years, the Jewels. They're all named Jewel, and I just thought I'd break the mold, and I'm Goldie by the sea. And so, somewhere along the line, though, I've lost my dear friend, Joplin. You know, Janice Joplin, that's normally with me. I'm sure she left 1968 with me in the time machine. But then, and I'm sure she landed here, but I think she landed over in the children's church. So I'm sorry for those of you that have children. Who knows what she's doing with them? But for those of you that have never seen me before, I am sorry. So I think I'm sorry that you've never seen me before. Anywho, we are going to have a big auction, dinner, and dance to raise money for our beautiful Jewel by the Sea. We love the community here, and we do so much. But we sometimes have to just boost it up a little bit. Yes, just like my hair, boost. And so, by the way, in case you're wondering, Aquanet. Use Aquanet. Yeah, you spray it on. The hair stays for days and days. Just don't touch it, because it might break off. So, anywho, my husband's sitting over there going, oh my goodness gracious, sake alive. But it's been that way for 35 years, so he can't complain. Okay, so we're going to have this dinner dance auction on June the 9th. We have tickets for sale. We are accepting all donations. As you know, we've had everything from trips to Hawaii to just haircuts and massages and restaurants galore, but we need you, our community, to help us bring those gifts. Janice Joplin, or sometimes they call her, by her 2018 name, but she's still Janice, and Cindy, I can't even think of her name right now. So anyway, she'll be collecting things, and you can see any of the committee members, and if you don't know us, just ask somebody. We're pretty visible. So we will have, again, dinner, we'll have dancing as usual, and then the auction, which is to raise money for the church here. We still need to do a lot of things, like maybe new carpet, maybe. There's a lot of things that need to be done around here, so we love your support, we love your energy, we love who you are, and so I have to do this without Janice. She says, can you do it solo? And I'm like, I think. Anyway, so I probably missed something, but next time we're up here, she'll fill you in. Anyway, love and peace. Got to go back to 1968.
I noticed the rose-colored glasses. For those of you who are here for the first time, thank you for being here. We do have a packet of information in our foyer if you're interested in learning more about us, so please reach out. We would love to share that with you. You've gotten a little piece of our excitement and our energy today, so please come back and continue to be immersed in the love that we have for all of you and for those of us who call this home. We're going to enter into our quiet part of our service this morning. Marianne is our practitioner for this morning, and Leona will be leading us in our sacred covenant. So let's just take a moment and settle down into that peace and open our hearts and recognizing and knowing that as we listen to the music of Bill, the words of Leona sharing our sacred covenant, and then the healing light, the inspiration of Marianne, that we truly open our hearts this morning as we prepare for this service and recognize and know that right where we are is by divine appointment and it is perfect.
There is only one life. This life is good. This life is God. This life is my life now. In knowing that I am one with the life that is God, I therefore know that I am one with all its blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister for my beloved Jewel by the Sea. And because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to glorify God, I therefore know that my new minister is a revelation of God as wholeness. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which has been promised by God, for it is written, "We see a world in which every person lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principle. All human endeavor is to find such an inward wholeness that all sense of fear, doubt, and uncertainty vanishes. As I stand in alignment with my beloved community, I see my new minister revealed before me as a wise and loving presence, God's consciousness in expression. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing this truth about myself, for I am inspired to live as love in the expression of wholeness. I am awakening the wisdom within me. I am applying the power of love through wisdom. I am connecting with, loving, and serving our local communities. I am creating an inclusive, loving environment for individuals and families and a thriving youth program. I am exploring the mystical teachings of different traditions. I am fostering an elevated music program that aligns with the message. As I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, I know that they are revealed in a way that will glorify God and serve the highest and greatest good for all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful. God is gracious. Amen.
Pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Whoa. Wonderful Spirit, whoa, wonderful Spirit, whoa, wonderful Spirit.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Mary Ann Giblin. I'm a licensed practitioner here at the center. And I invite you now to join me in a moment of meditation. I have from Ernest Holmes a quote from a meditation that he wrote. And I invite you to take these words in and then commune in the place of the Most High within you as we know this truth. And so the quote goes, "My heart beats with the pulsation of the universe, in serenity, in peace, and in joy. My whole being is animated by the divine spirit, and if there is anything in it that does not belong, it is cast out, because there is one perfect life within me now." So I invite you to go within and sense the feeling of that perfect life. The beating of our hearts, our nails growing, our nose sniffling, all that function and action and reaction in the body temple, that one life. And so coming back now, I speak this word knowing that there is only one infinite love. That love, that peace, that harmony, that perfection is right here, right where I am. It is right where I am. It is right where everyone within the sound of my voice is. And those within my prayer field are. And so I know as we dedicate this sacred and holy appointment to our beloved congregant dean, as I know that his healing is revealing, as I know that right here and right now our hearts and minds are lifted up in absolutely remembering that love. That love is all there is. And so I know that this love pours forth through all the musical talent that graces us, through the hearts and souls that receive it. I know that Reverend Jay is lifted in that love, in that heart, in that infinite expression that is calling us to remember. I know that everyone that has come forth to be of service is lifted in that love, that high vibration of the Most High, pulsating through and as them now. I give thanks for this love. I give thanks for this good. I surrender the word to the creative field, knowing it is done. And so it is. Amen. Our women.
Pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into your heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, whoa, wonderful Spirit.
No complaints and no regrets. I still believe in chasing dreams and placing bets. For I have learned that all you give, it's all you get. So you give it all you've got. I've had my share, I've drank my fill, and even though I'm satisfied, I'm hungry still to see what's down another road, the climb the hill and to do it all again. So here's to life and every joy that it brings. So here's to life, to that dreamer and their dream. Funny how the time just flies, how love can go from warm hellos to sad goodbyes and leave you with a memory you memorize to keep your winter warm. For there's no yes in yesterday, and who knows what tomorrow brings or takes away. As long as I'm still in the game, I'm gonna play for love, for laugh, for life. So here's to life and every joy that it brings. So here's to life, to that dreamer and their dream. And may all your storms be weathered, and all that's good just get better, better. La 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 la. And may all your storms be weathered, and all that's good just get better and better and better. Here's to life, here's to love, and here's to
Be joy. Thank you. Good morning, Seal Beach. So, someone was telling me yesterday that Josh left in July of last year. And I did some quick calculations on my fingers, and I said, you know what, it's been 9 months. You know what that means, right? It's time for us to birth a new minister, right? Yes? Yes? All right. So today is the first day of candidating. We will repeat this process for 2 more weeks. And in your bulletin, you have a green form. This is an evaluation form. You'll fill this out, turn this in the back. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask me. If you didn't get a program, just raise your hand. We've got some of those forms for you. The ushers will pass them out. Thank you, ladies, for that. So let me introduce our candidate and our minister for today, or our speaker for today. The New Thought guy is an ordained minister currently serving as the assistant minister and the arts minister at the Global Truth Center in Los Angeles. He is in charge of producing plays, musicals, and concerts that forward the tenets of New Thought and the science of mind. very active in his center. He has been a Board of Trustees member, the former administrator, one of the lead practitioners and youth mentors, and has spoken at many Sunday and Wednesday services. He has also spoken at many New Thought centers throughout Southern California, the Pacific Northwest, and the East Coast. Rev J has years of experience in education in music as a professional singer and actor, recently working on 3 feature films, in events management, the self-improvement industry, writing and producing, teaching, metaphysics, just filling his toolbox with much to share. His moniker as the New Thought Guy produces a blog, a Vimeo channel, and a Facebook and Twitter page. You can also find Rev J on the New Thought channel through your Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV. He deeply values Ernest Holmes' tenet to be open at the top, fueling his mission to inspire others to live in their greatness and reveal the awareness of our birthright to love, enjoy, and prosper with, as, and through the divine. Please help me give a warm Seal Beach welcome to Reverend J. Willick.
Wow, I'd like to meet that guy you were talking about. Holy cow, that's great. So good morning, Seal Beach. Wah! This is me coming out of the birth channel. Wah! Here I am. Some of you who have had children would have been a big surprise had this come out. I want to thank you for asking me to be here. I want to tell you that yesterday I was here most of the day, and your leadership, both your search committee and your practitioners and ministers that are here, had such a great time grilling me for 4 or 6 hours about where I'm at, where I'm from, what I'm going to do, all those great things. So you can feel free to know that I am sufficiently grilled and have been asked all these great questions, and they did it. Most importantly, they did it with love and respect, and they really showed me what this community is about. You know, when somebody decides to candidate for a community, there's only so much you can learn about a community looking at the website and the profile page that they put together for the Centers for Spiritual Living organization. And so when I saw those things, I thought, well, this feels like a good fit. And then yesterday, when I walked into this building, that's when it really clicked. Because, you know, you leave your energy here. You leave a little bit of yourself here every Sunday. And it was very palpable, the love in this community. And who wouldn't want to be a part of that, yes? So I want to start with telling you a story. This couple had 2 children, 2 little boys, 8 and 10. And they were the type of little boys who always get in trouble. I don't know if any of you have had those kind of children in your life. So if mischief occurred anywhere in town, it was probably those 2 boys that did it. Now, at their wits' end, the parents decided they needed to seek some outside help. And they found out about this clergyman in town who was very good at rehabilitating children who were, mischievous. So they go to this clergyman, and he agreed to see them. So his first point was, I want to see them one at a time individually. So the 8-year-old went first. So the 8-year-old showed up at his office, and he sat the 8-year-old down, and he looked him in the eyes, and he said, "Where is God?" Little boy is like, "What?" Didn't answer. Clergyman said, "Where is God?" Little boy, now he's starting to shake now, but he didn't answer. He didn't say a thing. Finally, the clergyman points his finger at the little boy, and he says, even sterner, "Where is God. Little boy takes off. He runs home, he goes into his favorite hiding place, and he closes the door, and he's sitting there shaking. Well, his 10-year-old brother happened to see him run through into the front door, and he goes into this area, and he opens the door, and he goes in. He goes, "What? What happened? Are you okay? What happened? What happened?" And his brother goes, "Oh, no. No, it's bad. It's even worse than ever. God is missing, and they think we did it." Now, of course, God is never missing, right? We just kind of turn away. We turn away from God sometimes. Now, the theme this month in the Centers for Spiritual Living is where humanity and divinity meet. So I'm going to ask you this question. It's a rhetorical question. Where does humanity and divinity meet? And I'll give you the answer. Here. Right here. Nowhere else. Right here. The heart. The heart is the first thing revealed and the last thing to reveal. Now let me explain that little saying. What I mean is the first thing, the first organ that develops in the prenatal, speaking about birth, is your heart. The heart starts here. The first thing, the last thing to reveal, now let me explain this. The last thing to reveal is through your heart, and that is the truth. Now, what happens once you tap into the truth, those days that you've kind of turned away or not been aware? Once you tap into the truth, everything else just kind of flows right, you know? All the dominoes kind of get themselves in order. So the first thing that we develop is the heart, and everything else develops from there. And the last thing that is revealed, and it is revealed through the heart, is the truth, which manifests our magnificent lives. We can think, we can pray, we can speak the words, we can speak wonderful, strong words, but without the heart backing all of that, what's going to manifest is usually either nothing or something filtered without the feeling and the knowing of what's going to show up. And that's going to happen through the heart. Ernest Holmes says, while we admire the intellect, we must realize that the intellect is not the creative factor in the universe. Some of you may feel like you've learned something else, but listen to this again. The intellect is not the creative factor in the universe, rather it is feelings that are creative. Feelings are creative. Now, I have this idea of how the world works. I call it the divine matrix. Now, some of you may have read the book by Greg Braden. Fabulous book, one of my favorites, called The Divine Matrix. That's actually where I got the term, although it's not exactly how he described it. I'm talking about the triune nature of life. Now, many of you who were brought up in the Christian tradition, the triune nature of life is a little different than how I'm going to describe it. To me, the triune nature of life is this: brain, heart, gut. Brain, heart, gut. Now, this week, of course, it's perfect. Spirit speaks through you. I was looking at things on the internet to add to the talk, and this book came up that I've never heard of by Grant Susela and Marvin Oka, and the book is called M-Braining, Using Your Multiple Brains to Do Cool Stuff. I like that. Using your multiple brains to do cool stuff. And they're talking in that book. I ordered the book. I haven't read it yet. But they're talking in that book exactly about that. That there are 3 brains in our body working simultaneously. We have the enteric brain, which is in the gut. We have the cardiac brain, which of course is the heart. And we have the cephalic brain, which is the head, the brain. What we usually call the brain. Now, most people have that head-brain thing down, you know what I mean? You have your intellect, you have your logic going on, your synapses are firing, all those electrical, chemical workings are happening in your head, in your brain, in that organ called the brain. You know how to say, I declare this in my life, or I reveal that in my life. All that is pretty much accomplished, especially people in this philosophy, because we're always talking about mind, right? And mind, most of the time, makes us think about the brain, that thing in our head, in our skull. Now, some have the gut stuff down. Now, for me, the gut stuff is talking about intuition and imagination, right? I have that gut feeling. We know when we have that gut feeling, we know what something looks like, what something smells like, what something feels like, texture, what something maybe sounds like. We know all that because our imagination brings that to us. And we do this constructively. And I feel because of intuition, that's an infusion of the divine by using our imagination, our gut feeling. But the main connection, the one that most matters, my friends, is the heart, is the feelings, not the emotions. I'm not talking about emotions, I'm talking about feelings. With feelings, you step into the as if. Do you know what I mean by the as if? We hear that all the time. It was a big New Age thing, the as if. You imagine as if. Let's say I want to demonstrate a new music stand. Okay, so I'm over here not having the music stand because it's over here right now. And I'm going to demonstrate it over here into my life. So I think as if it's over here. Right? And then it shows up. The experience of it is feeling. What do we feel like when we experience this idea that we're bringing into our life? The gratitude for it because it has manifested. Now, I'm sure somebody has talked here about gratitude, the power of gratitude. And you know what? And I'm going to talk about this in the workshop as well. The power of gratitude is the as if of it. Because if I give you a present, what do you say? Thank you. Why? Because you've already received it. That's a heartfelt thing. That's what's going on in here. Richard Adler and Jerry Ross wrote in their musical Damn Yankees, "You gotta have heart. All you really need is heart. When the odds are saying you'll never win, that's when the grin should start." The grin. I want to talk about the grin. What is that grin? You know, when somebody says something to you and you either agree with it, wholeheartedly, or you think they're kind of full of it, what happens? A little grin comes to your head because you know what they're saying is a bunch of junk, or what they're saying is, yeah, you're right on. That's where that grin I'm talking about. Well, that comes from a feeling first. That's a heart-centered practice. It comes from, I was reading about this whole heart thing, and I found out that, and this is a scientific thing, this is not some spiritual thing that has not been scientifically proven. This is a scientific thing. There are 40,000 or more sensory neurites, they call them, or you could say cells, in your heart that fire off independently based on your feelings. Not just synapses popping in your brain, in your heart. And those inform your brain what it needs to think, what perspective you need to have about life, what's happening in life, good, bad, or indifferent. I think it's time to reawaken purposefully and intentionally that heart intelligence, that heart brain, that heart mind. The Ramana Maharshi, who was a Hindu sage in the early and mid-20th century, he said, when the mind stays in the heart, the I, which is the source of all thoughts, will go, and the self whichever exists will shine. Now let me explain what he's talking about. The I he's talking about is that ego thing that goes on in our brain. That ego thing in the negative, which edges God out. You ever had that or know people like that? Usually the narcissistic type people are edging God out because it's all me, 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 I'm important and only important. But the self, now you can't see his writing, but in his writing he put a capital S for self. In self, that's when you're entertaining God only. It's still your ego. Are you getting that? Entertaining God only? Come on, help me out. And we want to live that, right? We want to live entertaining God only, because if our foundation, our step one is in the divine, coming from the divine, then Spirit always speaks through us no matter what shows up. Yes? So we it's okay to have an ego, but you want to entertain God only. So I want to do a little spiritual practice here, because I want us to get purposefully heart-centered. So, if everyone would please indulge me, close your eyes. Now, by closing your eyes, you are bringing your awareness within. And I want you to go ahead and purposely bring your awareness within. Now, here's the second part, and probably the most important part. I want you to take one of your hands and put it at the center of your chest where your heart is. Your heart is at the center of the body. It is indeed the center chakra, the center energy point in your body. It is the gateway to an intelligence both harmonious and holistic, meaning from the heart it goes everywhere else in your body. The touch, just this touch, brings a powerful awareness to this gateway. Now I want you to be aware of your breathing and allow it to slow down. Let's together take a 5-second inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1, and a 5-second exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. And keep repeating this. See, this signals this calm, deep breathing, this touch of where your heart is. This signals your body that you are safe. It frees you from any stresses that might be going on right now. The bills, the kids, the news, any stresses that are going on. It frees those. And it opens your body to healing. This calm, slow, deep breath. Now, part 4 is think or imagine someone or something that you either care about, appreciate, or have gratitude for, or compassion for. Think of that person, that thing, that incident, and allow yourself to feel through heart, through love, that care, that appreciation, that gratitude, that compassion. It could be about a person, some other loved one, this community, your child, your puppy, something you received, an insight you might have had, that aha moment. Appreciate that. You see, this spiritual practice connects all 3 brains. The imagination, intuition from the gut, the feelings and intelligence of the heart, and the logic of the brain. It harmonizes for an optimal decision-making, creative discovery, learning, transcending, manifesting. It gives one resilience, even momentary. Even if it's a momentary practice versus a daily practice, it gives one resilience in every changing and too often chaotic world that we live in sometimes. And it inspires that chaos, that unformed, that whirling idea to become a cosmos. That unformed whirling dervish of the news and the bills and the worries and this and that, it changes that to a loving, controlled, informed way to create what it is you want in your life. This practice releases 1,300 biochemical reactions that promote not only this centerness, this foundation, this step into conscious divinity, but actually taps into your immunity and your anti-aging. In 1958, Dr. Holmes ended a talk by saying, if I pass on tonight, they can take everything I have ever written and toss it in the ashes. It's going to be thrown there someday anyway. But two things remain. There is a presence and there is a power in the universe which constitute a dual unity of action and reaction, and the polarity from which all things come. Learn to court the presence by not only seeing God in everything and everybody, but by feeling God all the time. Feel the presence in the sacred place of your consciousness. Then use that power. Your thoughts will change the conditions of your life. So now, let's all breathe in together. Breathe out. Now this time as we breathe in together, I want you to hear or listen or say with me, God is. Ready? God is. And as you exhale, you say, I am. That's right. One more time. God is. And exhale, I am. If you haven't already, open your eyes. Now that is a very ancient and primal practice. A primal practice meaning it comes from beyond the ancient. And it taps into the most basic of our energies, both in brain, heart, and gut. It's a conscious practice, and it's a connective practice. And no matter what's happening in your life, you take that moment and go, you know what? Give me 1 second. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your boss. I don't care if it's your husband or wife or whatever. Give me 1 second. When you're in the middle of chaos and you're not knowing, you start reacting by emotion and history and all that stuff. You take a second, because that only takes a couple of minutes. And you go somewhere and you just do this. And you close your eyes and you connect to your heart and you take those slow, deep breaths and you realize and think about something you care, appreciate, have gratitude for, and you will reboot so that you can go in there and deal with whatever's going on without being triggered by some other past stuff or some emotions or some nervousness that's happening because the energy in that room is all stressful. You do that. You'll reboot, you'll reconnect, you'll ground yourself, and you'll be ready to answer the call of that particular moment. In Proverbs 23:7, and as the title of one of my favorite books by James Allen, it says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a woman thinketh in her heart, so is she. As we all, as a community, as a city, as a state, as a country, as a world, thinketh in our heart, so is our environment. So is our experience. Join me in stepping into here, where the divine lives at all times. Again from Damn Yankees, you gotta have heart. Miles and miles and miles and miles and miles of heart. Oh, it's fine to be a genius, of course, but keep that whole old horse before the cart. First, you gotta have heart. Join me. Thank you so much. God bless you. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that, Reverend Jay. Heart. Oh, yeah, I know about that. I know about that one. If you believe within your heart, you know that no one can change the path that you must go. Believe what you feel and know you're right, because the time will come around when you'll say it's yours. Believe there's a reason to be. Believe you can make time stand still, and know that the moment you try, when you believe in yourself right from the start. Believe in the magic that's there in your heart. Believe all these things, not because I ask you to. Just believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, just believe in yourself, then all your dreams come true. Believe there's a reason to be. When you believe you can make time stand still, then know in the moment you try, when you believe, I know you will. Believe in yourself right from the start. Believe in the magic that's there in your heart. Believe all these things, not because Michael asked you to. Just believe in yourself. Come on, when you believe in yourself, just believe in yourself. than all your dreams come true for you.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Reverend Jay. Your tithes are very powerful. They actually are a triple blessing. The first way that your tithes are a blessing is that they bless this church, this building, the facilities that we have here, as well as the programs and classes and all of the things that we're able to bring you are the blessing that comes from your tithes. The second way that your tithes are a blessing is in our local community. And each month, we as a church make a tithe ourselves to an organization in our community. And this month, our tithe is going to the organization Operation Jumpstart. And we have with us here today Charles Russell. Charles is the president of the board of directors, and I'm going to have him come up and tell you about their organization.
Well, first, I just want to thank you all so much for having us here today. As Jack mentioned, my name's Charlie Russell. I'm the president of the board of directors for Operation Jumpstart. We're a nonprofit in Long Beach. Our mission is to help low-resourced, high-potential, first-generation students get in, stay in, and graduate from a four-year university. So how we do that is by providing mentoring, exposure to a broader world, and academic support. We provide social work interns for our students. We give scholarships to our students. We have Lawrence Mamita is here with me. He's one of our staff members and a mentor. He provides tutoring and helps organize our entire tutoring department for our students that are struggling with their grades. And one of the biggest ways we help our students is through mentors. We match students in the 8th grade one-on-one with an adult college graduate mentor, because these are first-generation students. These are poor students. They don't know people who've gone to college other than their teacher. By having an adult connection, someone they can spend time with, and it's unstructured time. You go to lunch with a kid, you take them to a ball game, you take them to your church, you involve them in your life, then they get an experience with someone other than their teacher who's gone to college, and that someone can help guide them through some of the processes. So that's what we do, that's who we are. Again, we have some values. One of them is education, one is mentoring, one is transparency, and one is gratitude. So I am so grateful on behalf of our organization that you have selected us, and I'm really grateful that you've invited us to join you here today. If you're interested in mentoring, operationjumpstart.org, that's our website. You'll see a big blue box right on there. You can click to get involved, or come up and grab me afterwards. I've got some cards. I'm happy to point you. We need mentors. I know you're all thinking it's great that people do this. You are the people who do this. So thank you.
So Charlie, on behalf of the Seal Beach Center for Spiritual Living, we would like to present to you our tithe check this month in the amount of $833.35. And I mentioned that your tithes are a triple blessing. The third way that your tithes are a blessing is that they bless you personally. When you give, that energy comes right back around into your life. And so with that, this is our offering time, and I'd like to ask our ushers to come forward. And if you would repeat with me our offering blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous. Thank you, God.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Good morning. I am here to remind you that in your program there are actual prayer request forms. So if you need prayer today for whatever it is that you want in your life, whatever you want to be revealed, please fill out one and put it in the prayer box in the back. In the meantime, I'd like all the prayer practitioners to stand up and just look around you and know that all of these people are here to take your prayer request and pray after the service today. And also, if you need a 1-minute miracle today, along the side over here, there will be practitioners waiting to pray just for you. So I know that God is all there is, and God is with us now. And whatever it is that you desire is already manifesting as beauty, as truth, as joy, as wisdom. These things are coming from, as Reverend Willick said, the heart center, the heart mind. And I give thanks for your presence here today. I give thanks for the presence as it manifests in every way that you desire in your life right now. I give thanks for this, and I release this into the action of the law. And so we say together, and so it is.
Two brief announcements before we bring in the kids. And didn't we have a wonderful morning? Yes. Thank you, Reverend Jay. Wanted to focus your attention on this white piece of paper that's in your program. It gives the schedule for the rest of the candidating weekends. So please plan on attending. Meet the candidate next weekend on Saturday, and then the service and workshop following. Put this on your fridge or in your phone on your calendar, just so you're aware of how the rest of the couple of weeks will go for candidating. And then for your green piece of paper today for the survey, if you're staying for the workshop, please keep this with you. The last question refers to the workshop. If you're not able to stay for the workshop, we have a basket in the back by Pam. You can place your evaluation or survey in that basket at that time. But if you are staying, please keep this so you can fill it out after the conclusion of the workshop this afternoon. And that workshop is from 1 to 3 today. With that, I would like to invite the children to come in.
Good morning. So this month is Earth Day on the 22nd of April. So we decided to take the whole month to honor our Mother Earth. And we've done that in different ways. Today we're learning that nature is really a powerful tool for learning about spirituality. And when we spend time in nature, we learn the very important skill of just being. And we can experience that oneness with all creation and also as well as our own true nature. So each month or each week we've done something a little different. Today we really talked in depth about recycling, and Joseph is going to tell you what that looked like.
Today upstairs we learned about how long it takes for various items to decompose in landfills, and we played a little game where the person that got the closest guess would earn a piece of candy. And also we talked about what different items were safe to recycle and which ones weren't, and that will help us keep the earth cleaner in the future.
Thank you. I know downstairs we were we found it remarkable that a plastic milk jug is 1,000 years in a landfill. So that was left an impression on us. I want to thank Wenda and Ian and Miss Katie, the volunteers, and Miles is back in our room getting things cleaned up. Thank you.
I'd like to invite us to stand as we say our benediction and our peace song. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my body. Life is in my mind. Life is in all that I do. I give thanks for it. And I accept it. Just the way that it is. And just the way that it is not. Thank you, God.